Hare Krishna, welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Today's speaker is His Grace Adi Gadadhar Prabhuji. Prabhuji will speak on the topic of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya Lila, chapter 22, verse 141 onwards. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, are you present on the call?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Navni Mataji, my humble obeisances to you. Yes Mataji, I am here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much Prabhuji for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on this topic. I now hand over the call to you Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Sachiranandana Jaya Padmavati Sutta Janava Jivana Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Sachiranandana Jaya Padmavati Sutta Janava Jivana Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We are reading today one verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, Madhya Lila, chapter 22nd, entitled The Process of Devotional Service. We will read one verse today, verse number 141. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching Sanatan Goswami, and through Sanatan Goswami, all of us, the process of Bhakti Yoga, devotional service. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is quoting this verse from the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Devarshi bhutapta nrinam pitrinam na kinkaro nayam rini charajan sarvatmanayah sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihritya kartam Devarshi bhutapta nrinam pitrinam न किंकरो नायमृणी च राजन् सर्वात्मनायः शरणं शरण्यं गतो मुकुन्दं परिहृत्य कर्तम् देवर्षि भूताप्तनृणां पितॄणां न किंकरो नायमृणी च राजन् सर्वात्मनायः शरणं शरण्यं गतो मुकुन्दं परिहृत्य कर्तम्. Synonyms: Deva, of the demigods; Rishi, of the sages; Bhuta, of ordinary living entities; Apta, of friends and relatives; Nrinam, of ordinary men; Pitrinam, of the forefathers; Na, not; Kinkarah, the servant; Na, nor; Ayam, this one; Rini, debtor; Cha, also; Rajan, O king; Sarva Atmana, with his whole being; Yah, a person who; Sharanam, shelter; Sharanyam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who gives shelter to all; Gataha, approached; Mukundam, Mukunda, Lord Mukunda; Parihritya, giving up; Karatam, duties. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Translation: One who has given up all material duties and taken full shelter at the lotus feet of Mukunda who gives shelter to all, is not indebted to the demigods, great sages, ordinary living beings, relatives, friends, mankind, or even his forefathers who have passed away. Purport. It is said, Adhyapanam Brahma Yajna Pitri Yajna Stutarpanam Homo Daivo Balir Bhauto Nriyajno Tithi Pujanam. By offering oblations with ghee, one satisfies the demigods. By studying the Vedas, one performs Brahma Yajna, which satisfies the great sages. Offering libations of water before one's forefathers is called Pitri Yajna. By offering tribute, one performs Bhuta Yajna. By properly receiving guests, one performs Nri Yajna. These are the 5 yajnas that liquidate the 5 kinds of indebtedness to the demigods, great sages, forefathers, living entities, and common men. Therefore, one has to perform these 5 kinds of yajnas. But when one takes to the Sankirtana Yajna, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, one does not have to perform any other yajna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Narad Muni made a statement about the systematic performance of Bhagavad Dharma in connection with statements previously made by the 9 Yogendras before Maharaj Nimi. The sage Karabhajana Rishi explained the 4 incarnations of the 4 yugas, and at the end, in this verse, text number 141, he explained the position of Krishna's pure devotee and how he is absolved of all deaths. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Namo mahavadanyaya krishna prema pradayate krishnaya krishna chaitanya namne gauratise namah. Panchatattvatmakam krishnam bhaktarupa swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I would like to sincerely place my head at the lotus feet of all of you, all the devotees who are listening, and offer my Dandavat Pranams to all of you. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. I would also like to beg each and every one of you to please bless me and pray for me if possible, so that by the power of your prayers and blessings, Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga may empower me to serve you with humility, with respectfulness, and with a clean heart for your pleasure. Hare Krishna. So, it is always such a pleasure to be in the association of all the Bhakti Sangha devotees, and especially Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is such a favorite Shastra, because by itself, Chaitanya Charitamrita, by itself, Gaur Lila, Nityananda Lila, Advaita Lila, is so sweet, so nectarian, so instructive, so insightful, so enlightening, so purifying. And then within Gaur Lila, there are beautiful lessons, beautiful quotations from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and Padma Puran and other scriptures. Therefore, Chaitanya Charitamrita has got everything. And we are so fortunate that Srila Prabhupada, he stopped his Srimad Bhagavatam translations for a few months and gave 100% of his time and energy to Chaitanya Charitamrita, knowing the utmost importance of this revealed scripture for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas and for the whole world. So we are very fortunate that each and every verse of this nectarian revealed scripture, Chaitanya Charitamrita Shastra, each and every word has been translated into English, the language that we are all trained in, the language that we all like to read and speak in. Every word has been translated from Bengali and Sanskrit into English with perfect translations and perfect Bhaktivedanta purports, which further explain the meaning of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Really, this one scripture is the most important scripture. Most important scripture, in the opinion of Om Vishnupad Nitya Lila Pravishta Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, the spiritual master of our Srila Prabhupada. So, what a great fortune to be studying this scripture, discussing this scripture, reading this scripture in the association. of first-class devotees like all of you on a regular basis, right from the convenience of our home or workplace. We can stay wherever we are, and just somehow, by the mercy of Krishna, we have this technology, and through the telephone we can all have a sangha, have association. Therefore, bhakti sangha. And verse by verse, systematically we can read Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are all so fortunate. So fortunate. We should always remember this good fortune that has come upon us. This verse is very instructive, my dear friends. In this verse, which is taken from the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here in the pages of Chaitanya Charitamrita is teaching us that if we 100% take shelter, Sharanagati, of Sri Mukunda or Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all attractive and who bestows liberation from all material contamination and who gives all protection. If we take shelter of Krishna, then we are completely protected, we are properly situated, and as a byproduct of this surrender, we are absolved. We are free from all indebtedness to the devatas, the demigods, to the forefathers, the pitri, to all the living entities, bhuta, bhutanam, and to all human beings around us, nrinam, to everyone, and to the great sages, the rishis, all that we owe to them. We are free from all this debt. We don't owe anything. We are not obliged to offer them anything. We are free. See, everybody in this world likes to be, or rather every sane person, every intelligent person in this world likes to be free from debt, free from loans. We don't want any indebtedness. We don't want to have anything to repay others. We don't want to live a life of credit. We want to get rid of all our liabilities. Student loan, house mortgage, credit card loan, whatever debts we may have. Every intelligent person, automobile loan, we want to pay it off. Because who likes to have the burden of a loan on one's head? So just like we want to free ourselves from indebtedness, on a more subtle plane, Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam are teaching us how we can become free from all indebtedness to the demigods, great sages, human beings, living entities, forefathers, everyone. And it is very simple. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. We have to exclusively, giving up everything else, exclusively take shelter of Krishna. Yesterday I was listening to a lecture of Srila Prabhupada. It is there on YouTube, very famous lecture. It also circulates as video clips on WhatsApp and Facebook. There, Srila Prabhupada is in some foreign country, and the disciple is asking, how long does it take to surrender to Krishna and to become purified? And back comes the reply from Srila Prabhupada instantly. Srila Prabhupada says, 1 minute, 1 moment. What is the difficulty? Are you not reading Bhagavad Gita? What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Just go in front of Krishna and tell Krishna, oh my dear Krishna, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, I am a sinner. I am a papi. I am a aparadhi. I am an offender. I am a nonsense person. I have committed so much nonsense in my life. I have wasted my life thus far. But, my dear Krishna, now, immediately, at this very moment, right now, I surrender to you, Krishna. From this moment on, eternally, I am yours, my dear Krishna. I am yours. Tava asmi, tava asmi, tava asmi, yache punaha punaha. Just do this yachana. Pray to Krishna again and again, right now. Krishna, I am yours, I am yours, I am yours, I am yours, Krishna. And just surrender to Krishna. And follow Krishna's instructions as they are given in Bhagavad Gita. Man mana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. From now on, under the guidance of a bona fide guru, in the association of devotees, inculcating the qualities that Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita as Daivi Prakriti, as divine qualities, qualities of humility, qualities of tolerance, qualities of being in equilibrium, in the midst of happiness and sorrow, honor and dishonor, victory and defeat, gain and loss. Equanimity means to remain faithful to Krishna. We should not become overjoyed by success. Yeah, how the athletes, they punch the air when they are successful in whatever game they are playing, or how some stockbrokers, they punch the air, they say hooray, this and that, jump in the air when the stock market goes the way they want it to go. No. If we become overjoyed by success, we are in a dangerous situation. And if we become totally disheartened by failure, so much so that we cannot put our hand in the bead bag. Oh, I'm so dejected. I cannot chant. I cannot do puja. I cannot offer bhoga to Krishna. I'm too heartbroken. Or at least manasa juhava, at least in the mind, we should cry out to Krishna. We should remember Krishna. Yaha smare pundarikaksha. At least we should remember Krishna. At least we should pray to Krishna. At least we should remain faithful to Krishna in our heart. If that we are not doing because of distress, sorrow, failure, loss in our life, then we are in a dangerous situation. This is very interesting. Please listen carefully. Our acharyas explain that this is a world of dualities. Dvandva. Dvandva moha vinirmuktas. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So what is this dvandva? Happiness and sorrow, victory and defeat, loss and gain, honor, dishonor. Our acharyas explain, Srila Prabhupada explains, that when we are victorious, see, everything we do it to be victorious. Is it not, my dear friends? Why do we work carefully? Why do we follow all the rules in the office? Why do we keep our license up to date? Why do we make sure that we are duly qualified for the job? Why do we make sure that we file our taxes properly, correctly, honestly? Why do we make sure we pay our bills on time? Why? Because we want to be successful. We don't want to receive a notice from the bank. We don't want to receive a notice from the IRS that we have defaulted on tax returns. We don't want to get a notice from our employer that we are not doing our job properly and we are going to be fired as a result of this, or we are in violation of the company policies or whatever. We follow the rules. All of us, ISKCON devotees, we like to follow rules. Why? Because we don't want to get into trouble. We want to be successful. We want to make sure that we don't do any ghotala. We don't do any nonsense. We want to be in the clear. We want to abide by the rules. Our acharyas explain that this is very good. This is very good. We must be like this. However, if our success, because in this world just staying out of trouble is also considered success. How is that person? Oh, he's good. He has never been in trouble with the law. He has never been corrected, or he has never been reprimanded. He's a good worker. So just not being in trouble is considered to be a sign of success in this world. So our acharyas explains that success, when we are successful, please listen carefully. I'll repeat. Our acharyas explain, when we are successful, we are in a dangerous situation. I repeat again. When we are successful, we are in a dangerous situation. So everything we do is so that we are successful. And our acharyas explain, when we are successful, we are in a dangerous situation. When we are honored, we are putting ourselves in a dangerous situation. When we are victorious, we are in a dangerous situation. When we are sad, we are in a dangerous situation. When we lose something, we are in a dangerous situation. When we are dishonored, we are in a dangerous situation. How is that? Because this world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Padam padam yad vipadam. There is danger at every step in this world, which means if we step into success, vipadam, we are in a dangerous situation. If we step into failure, we are in a dangerous situation. We step into happiness, we are in a dangerous situation. We step into sorrow, we are stepping into a dangerous situation. Everything in this material world, good or bad, is a dangerous situation. This we have to philosophically analyze, my dear friends. What happens when we are successful? The tendency is to get carried away. The tendency is to become proud. Yeah, I came first. I stood first. Yeah, I was named the best employee in my division for the year. Yes, I got the highest bonus. Yes, my boss really likes me. Yeah, I got the promotion. Yeah, so many people applied for the job, but I got it. Or I was ranked such and such. Or I was not well, still I got a good grade. So when we are successful, there is a potential danger of becoming proud. I gave a nice class. Yes, so many devotees said at the end, it was so nectarian. The Gaur Katha was not so much nectarian for my ears. But after I say Jai Srila Prabhupada and end the call, and then all the devotees come and they say, nice class Prabhu, that is the nectar of the whole telephone conference. In the end, that is the dessert for my ears in the end. When everybody comes and says, Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, nice class, nice class, nice class. Thank you, Dandavat. Adi Gadadhar Prabhu ki Jai. Cherry on the cake. Lovely. Dangerous situation. Because when we are successful, the tendency is to become proud. And Srila Prabhupada explains that pride has a twin brother. Hare Krishna. When we are successful, the natural tendency in this world is to become proud. Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, you should be very proud of yourself. You are doing such a nice service. I am so proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. Even in school, they tell the children, my dear child, you should be proud of yourself. You have done this very good. But on a subtle level, when we are successful, we become proud. And Srila Prabhupada explains that pride has a twin brother. Actually, let's call them conjoined twins because they always go together. They are connected. They are inseparable. So who is the conjoined twin of pride? Pride is the child of success. Pride is born from success. But pride is not born alone. Success gives birth to conjoined twins. Pride and the twin brother, offensive mentality, aparad. As soon as we develop subtle pride, my dear friends, as soon as we develop subtle pride, it is just a matter of time. We must commit aparad. We must commit offense. We have to be offensive towards others. It is unavoidable. It is inevitable. It is compulsory. If we develop subtle pride, our mind is poisoned by pride. Pride has entered the mandir of the mind. Mama mana mandire. The temple of the mind has allowed pride to enter. The conjoined twin offensive mentality also must enter. Guaranteed. Our acharyas explain this very, very beautifully. Very beautifully. There is a lecture. You can search it on YouTube. This is one of my all-time favorite lecture. I have heard this lecture I don't know how many times. I have shared it with many devotees in the past, and I especially like to hear it while worshipping my Shaligram Shilas, because I don't know why, but I feel very inspired to hear this lecture when I'm doing puja seva. You can Google it on YouTube. This is a lecture given by the servant of Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj, in 2008 Pune Yatra. It is called Do Not Become Prisoner of Success. Do Not Become Prisoner of Success by Srila Radhanath Maharaj, 2008 Pune Yatra. It is one of those lectures. I was there for the Pune Yatra in 2008, and I liked it. I liked the lecture, but it is one of those lectures that when you hear it again and again and again and again and again, you get more and more insights, more and more realizations, more and more lessons that you can practically apply in your life. So this lecture I must have heard many times, dozens of times. It is one of my favorite lectures. So if you feel inspired, please find this lecture. It's in 3 parts on YouTube. It's also there on ISKCON Desire if you just want the audio. But watching the video is better. Do Not Become Prisoner of Your Success. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. It's a long lecture. And it is on the story of Chitraketu Maharaj. There are several important, interesting points that Srila Prabhupada makes in his purports. and that Srila Prabhupada's followers also make when they comment on this Leela. It is simply amazing. Simply amazing. I might have spoken this before, but I would like to say it again because this is so incredibly important, my dear friends. How offensive mentality is the conjoined twin of pride, and they are simply born from success. And we are always working for success. So just imagine what a dangerous situation we are in. One of the amazing points that Maharaj makes in this lecture is about Chitraketu Maharaj. As you all know, Chitraketu Maharaj was a very pious, devotee king. He was a powerful king and he was a Vaishnava. He was a devotee. He was following Sanatan Dharma. In this verse that we read today in Chaitanya Charitamrita and the next verse, which you will all hear on Monday, Srila Prabhupada in the purport talks about Varnashram Dharma, Sanatan Dharma. So here in today's verse we read how we are absolved of all our indebtedness if we surrender to Krishna. So all this indebtedness to repay all this is mentioned in the traditional Varnashram Dharma, Varnashram system. That if you're a Brahman, these are your duties: to Pathan, to read the scriptures, teach the scriptures, to do pujas, do yajnas, to guide the society. If you're Kshatriya, you have to be selfless, you have to be brave, you have to be courageous, you have to fight for dharma, you have to protect the people from danger. If you're Vaishya, you have to do cow protection, you have to work the land, produce grains, fruits, vegetables, bring about economic prosperity, create revenue, and then you pay your taxes. Taxes go to the treasury, which funds the kingdom. So the Vaishyas are creating economic development. And Shudras, for everything you need workers. Whether you're digging a well, you're building roads, you're constructing a bullock cart, you're constructing a house, your whatever work has to be done, you need helping hands. So that is the Shudras, who are the workers. And it is a duty of the Kshatriyas, the Brahmins, and the Vaishyas to protect the Shudras, to keep them happy, make sure they are taken care of. And the duty of Shudra is to serve the other three Varnas. So in this way, there is a symbiotic association. There is a mutually beneficial relationship. And the society works fine. And by doing this service, slowly, we repay our debts by doing puja, by doing yajnas, by doing shraddha. Slowly, by serving the society, contributing to society, paying tax, we are slowly repaying our debt. And in the next verse, you will all read that Srila Prabhupada mentions that yes, this is all there. But if you take complete shelter of Krishna, you are completely free from all this indebtedness. So Chitraketu Maharaj was a very wonderful follower of this Sanatan Dharma, Varnashram system. And he was really concerned about succession of his kingdom. He wanted to find a duly qualified king to become his successor. Not only that, he was worried about his own purushartha, which is the duty of every human being. He was worried about his own future, the future of his forefathers, because someone has to do shraddha to maintain the pious residence of the forefathers. So he was worried who will offer tarpan, who will offer the shraddha, puja for me, my forefathers. Otherwise, me and my forefathers will fall down from the Pitralok. So he was worried, justifiably so. So these are all dharmic principles. It is not paro dharmo, savai pumsam paro dharmo, yatho bhaktir adhokshajay, ahaitu ki apratihata, yayatma suprasidati. It is not the Jaiva Dharma. It is not the highest conception of Dharma, but it is still Sanatana Dharma. So Chitraketu Maharaj was very pious. He was a follower of Sanatana Dharma. And he wanted a son. So when Angira Muni came, he asked him for a son. Instead of asking him, can you speak Srimad Bhagavatam to me? Or can you speak to me about Bhagavad Dharma? Instruct me and my ministers about Krishna consciousness. Instead of saying that, Chitraketu Maharaj, he asked for a son, because that is what was on his mind at that time, completely occupied by that thought. And Angira Muni knew that Chitraketu Maharaj is not ready to hear spiritual discourse at this time. He is not ready to hear Krishna Katha at this time. So Angira Muni complied. He agreed to give him a son. So just see, this is the quality of an expert preacher. We don't push or shove philosophy down somebody's throat when they don't want it. Philosophy has to be heard through the ears, and then from the ears it descends into the heart and causes transformation and nourishes the intelligence, sharpens the intelligence, called spiritual intelligence, which then controls the mind, which then controls the indriya, the senses. That is how it is supposed to work. But if someone is not ready, you cannot force the philosophy down their throat. You cannot force feed philosophy or Krishna consciousness to anyone. Angira Muni, being expert preacher, knew that. So he said, all right, I will preach to you in a different way. So he agrees to the demand of the king, to the request of the king, and he gives him a son whose name is very instructive. Does anyone know the name of the son of Chitraketu Maharaj?
Hare Krishna Prabhu is a Harsha Shoka.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Harsha Shok. Harsha means happiness, Shok means sorrow. Now remember, both are dangerous situations we just discussed. Happiness is dangerous and distress is also dangerous. So Harsha Shok. When he brought Harsha, when he brought joy to the king and his queen and the other crores of queens that Chitraketu Maharaj had, everybody externally was happy. But then what happened? Chitraketu Maharaj made a very, very fatal mistake. Again, very instructive. I don't intend to repeat the whole class of Srila Guru Maharaj. It is impossible. It's a 3-part class. Long class. I think Maharaj spoke for 3 hours or something. But I'm just taking some relevant points which are relevant to today's verse. So today's verse we are reading that we don't have any indebtedness to any human being, any rishis, any forefathers, nothing. At the same time, if we are completely surrendered to Mukunda, if we are completely Krishna conscious, then naturally, as Krishna's devotees, we are kind to all living entities. We are friendly to all living entities. We have Maitri towards all living entities. Prema, Maitri, Kripopeksha. Prema towards Krishna, Maitri towards devotees, Kripa towards the Balishya, the innocent people who are inquisitive, and Upeksha, ignoring, keeping a respectful distance from the Dveshis, the envious people. So these are the 4 hallmarks of a Madhyamadhikari, a fixed-up devotee. Madhyamadhikari is a fixed-up devotee. Kanishtha is a neophyte devotee. And Uttamadhikari is the most advanced devotee. So fixed-up devotee, Madhyamadhikari, has Prema, Maitri, Daya, Upeksha. So a devotee of Krishna is naturally careful in his or her dealings. Now again, my dear friends, it is not that because we have come into Krishna consciousness, and we have read today's verse that we are free from all indebtedness. So we don't have any loans now to repay to anyone around us. So we just become carefree and arrogant and careless and loose in our behavior. Absolutely not. That is not what Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita are teaching us. A devotee of Krishna, a true devotee of Krishna, is naturally kind to the family members, naturally kind to the friends, naturally kind to the entire society, naturally kind to the animals and birds, naturally well-wisher of the forefathers, and naturally respectful to the devatas and the rishis. So this is the important lesson that we should learn, my dear friends. And here comes the story of Chitraketu Maharaj. I was not planning on speaking about Chitraketu Maharaj. I don't know how it went. I actually prepared about Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur because his disappearance day is day after tomorrow. But Chitraketu Maharaj, he's teaching us a crucial lesson. Please listen carefully. He became so harshit. He became so joyful after receiving a son, Harsha Shok, for whom he had earnestly waited and intensely prayed for. Finally, he has got a son who has a beautiful smile, who has chubby cheeks, who is completely dependent on Chitraketu Maharaj and his wife, who's playing in the palace and giving so much joy, so much harsha. When Chitraketu Maharaj became so blissful, so joyful upon receiving the son, he made a fatal mistake. And this fatal mistake was he neglected his other wives. He neglected the other wives. And by neglecting them, by not taking care of them, by not protecting their psychology, by not giving them emotional security and love, he brought out the worst in them. And our acharyas explain that all the wives of Chitraketu Maharaj were very cultured Vaishnavis. They were devotees and they were coming from very nice cultured families. They had all Vedic education. They were completely chaste. They had never watched Bollywood movies. They had never watched these soap, whatever they call, operas, the serials on the TV, television, all the mundane gossip, prajalpa. Never. They were Vedic, Vaishnavi ladies. Very cultured, very simple, very chaste, very religious, very dharmic, very loving, very high moral character. If they were on Bhakti Sangha, even one of those Matajis were there on Bhakti Sangha, these Matajis are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Priti Vilasini Mataji would be requesting them, please give class. Please speak to us about Srimad Bhagavatam. He would be respecting them, looking up to them. They were the wives of Chitraketu Maharaj. They were all disciples of great rishis like Angira Muni, Narad Muni. So these devotee wives of Chitraketu Maharaj became envious. Why? Because Chitraketu Maharaj, by his neglectful behavior and careless behavior, out of the intense joy and happiness that he was experiencing, he, Chitraketu Maharaj, brought out the worst in his wives, the other wives, who were not mothers of Harsha Shok. What lesson can we learn here? We have to understand this verse of not being indebted to anyone by becoming devotees of Krishna in the proper perspective. Just see, Chitraketu Maharaj's wives became envious because their husband Chitraketu Maharaj was feeding the bad dog in their hearts and starving the good dog. by not giving them love, care, emotional protection, spiritual protection, and their envy just increased and increased and increased and increased. And what did they do? They poisoned Harshashok and killed him. Just imagine, they were also stepmothers of that child, and they killed the little boy. And they were so united in their conspiracy that even in Srimad Bhagavatam, nobody knows who actually poisoned Harshashok. Nobody knows. And they were so united that they kept it as a secret. It's not like somebody defected and then came and told Chitraketu Maharaj that, oh my dear husband, it was this particular wife and that particular wife who did it, and they are gossiping about each other, complaining about each other. No. They were so united in this horrible conspiracy that they completely remained united. Another lesson, that unity is good among devotees, but it should be for a proper mission. It should be for a good purpose. Sometimes we come together to pull down another devotee, or to come together for some political agenda in the association of devotees, in the society of devotees. We come together for some agenda, selfish agenda. We have to do this, we have to remove this devotee from this position, we have to do this, do that, pull him down. So are we behaving like the envious wives of Chitraketu Maharaj? We have to ask ourselves, my dear friends. And then you can only imagine the lamentation and the sorrow of Chitraketu Maharaj when he saw that his only son, Harshashok, was dead. Oh, how he was crying, how he was lamenting, beating his chest. Harshashok's mother also was crying, wailing, fainting, becoming unconscious, then waking up, then again crying. The whole palace, the whole kingdom was crying. And finally the news reached Angira Muni that Harshashok has died. So he brought Narad Muni with him. So now Angira Muni and Narad Muni, they come to Chitraketu Maharaj, and then they preach to him. And then they gave him a process of bhajana kriya, sadhana bhakti. By practicing that, after going through all this churning, after understanding the laws of material nature, after having full realization that padam padam yad vipadam natesham samashritaye padapallava plavam mahat padam punyayasho murare bhavam budirvat sapadam param padam 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 yad vipadam natesham. After having full realization of this verse, that this world is full of dangers at every step, whether we step into victory, defeat, honor, dishonor, happiness, sorrow, every step is dangerous. Happiness made Chitraketu Maharaj arrogant, careless, inconsiderate towards his co-wives. Happiness made Chitraketu Maharaj feed the bad dog in the hearts of his co-wives, of his wives. And what did lamentation, sorrow, distress do to him? He became completely forgetful of his duties, became completely overwhelmed, as if in a fog, as if completely paralyzed, as if dead. But then Narad Muni and Angira Muni come, and they preach to him. And he follows his bhajan kriya, and he becomes a Siddha Purush. He becomes a perfected human being. He perfects the process of sadhana bhakti, and he has Sakshat Darshan of Krishna. Krishna in the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Shankarshan, Bhagavan. He comes and he gives darshan to Chitraketu Maharaj. And Chitraketu Maharaj realizes his Siddha Swarup, that I am an eternal associate of Lord Hari. I am Hari Parshad. So Chitraketu Maharaj is now completely self-realized. He knows his Siddha Swarup in the spiritual world. He has had a personal darshan of Krishna, direct darshan of Krishna. He has been blessed by Krishna. He has been initiated by Narad Muni, Angira Muni. So he has bona fide guru. He has had darshan of Krishna. He's perfect. And then Lord Krishna tells him, now go and preach this message all over the world. He gets a viman, he gets a vehicle, so he can travel in the sky to all the planets, and he can preach because he's completely self-realized. Now he's completely qualified to preach the message of Bhagavatam. And here is Chitraketu Maharaj preaching. Another valuable lesson. He sees Shivji with Mother Parvati sitting on his lap, and he's instructing all the sadhus and ascetics, tapasvis, about Tyag and Vairagya. And every few minutes, he's looking at the beautiful face of Mother Parvati and smiling at her and embracing her. And then again looking at the audience, which are all tapasvis and ascetics and sadhus. And again talking to them about Tyag, Vairagya, renunciation. And again looks at Mother Parvati and smiles, and he's embracing her. And then again looking at the audience and talking about renunciation with Mother Parvati, the most beautiful mother in this whole material world. And then talking about renunciation. And Chitraketu Maharaj is passing by on his plane, preaching. And everybody is very much ignorant compared to Chitraketu Maharaj. Because how many of us know our Siddha Swarup? How many of us have spoken to Krishna face to face, had his darshan, have such deep spiritual insight? So Chitraketu Maharaj was going and he was preaching to others. He was giving Krishna consciousness to others. He was elevating others. Everybody was offering him dandavats. Everybody was saying, thank you Chitraketu Maharaj for this wonderful Hari Katha. Please come back to our planet again. Yes, I will certainly come. Now let me go to this planet. Now let me go to that planet. And he comes to Kailash and he sees Shivji giving a Bhagavatam class. So two preachers meet. Two preachers meet. And what does Chitraketu Maharaj see? That Shivji is talking about renunciation while having Mother Parvati on his lap. And Chitraketu Maharaj smiles. He actually laughs. And he tells Shivji that only you can do this. Only you can do this. With Mother Parvati Devi on your lap, you are talking to all these brahmacharis and sadhus about renunciation, about celibacy, about sense control. Very nice. Only you can do it. So actually Chitraketu Maharaj was glorifying Shivji. He was a pure devotee. He didn't have dosha drishti. He didn't have fault-finding mentality. Please, we have to understand this. But when you speak such a thing in front of Mother Parvati and in front of all the sadhus, you have a particular relationship with Shivji. You have a heart-to-heart connection. You may be on a very different level. But how will others interpret it? That is also very important. Very important. So others did not interpret it properly. And especially Mother Parvati, she took it otherwise. She took it as an offense, great offense. She became very angry. And she chastises Chitraketu Maharaj. Do you know who is watching us? Lord Brahma is watching us at this very minute. Is he saying anything? Is he correcting Shivji? Your spiritual master Narad Muni is watching. Is he speaking anything? No. But you, O wretched king Chitraketu, you think that you have the authority to correct the Lord of all auspiciousness, Shankar Bhagwan. Because he is the Lord of all auspiciousness, his name is Shiva. He's all pure. He is the father of this whole creation. You think you have the right to correct him, to instruct him, to laugh at him, to be sarcastic to him? What a demoniac mentality you have. And you are preaching Bhagavad Dharma? You lowest among human beings, you wretch. Mother Parvati severely chastises him and says, because you have such a demoniac, fault-finding mentality, and because you found faults with the purest person, Shivji, I curse you to become a demon. You have a demoniac mentality, become a demon, Vritrasur, and associate with demons. You will have no devotee association. You will have only association of demons. People who have demoniac mentality like you, that's what you deserve for this Vaishnava Prada. Now our acharyas explain, very, very important, and we will conclude after discussing this point, but this very important point for all of us, my dear friends. When did Chitraketu Maharaj offend Shivji? And why did Chitraketu Maharaj offend Shivji? Two questions. Why? Our acharyas explain. It is because he developed some pride. He developed some pride in his deep spiritual realization that I am fully realized. So when you become proud, who is the conjoint twin of pride? Offensive mentality. Aparadha buddhi. And he thought he had the authority, he had the right, he was in the position to instruct Shankar Bhagwan. Just see. So when did he commit this aparadh and why did he commit this aparadh? Why he committed? Because he was proud. He had become proud. He had become a prisoner of his own success. He had become prisoner of his own success. His spiritual success had imprisoned him. Maya, pride, had caught him. And out of pride, he thought he could instruct Chitraketu. He could instruct Shivji. Another lesson is he committed aparadh because he was in the preaching mood. Now this is very important for all of us. Please hear carefully. Preaching mood. When we preach, it's a preaching mood. You want to preach, you want to instruct others. But we should always remember, do I have the adhikar to instruct this person? Last class we discussed a beautiful pastime of Sri Srimad Gaur Govinda Maharaj when he had gone to that foreign country, to that temple. And another devotee was speaking Bhagavatam class. We spoke about Romaharshana Sutta and Balramji also in that class. So we have to ask ourselves, am I the designated spiritual authority for this person? Or am I authorized to speak in front of this devotee? Or am I authorized to speak to this devotee? Because it is a one-on-one instruction. It is a one-on-one conversation between Chitraketu Maharaj and Shivji. So we have to ask ourselves, am I in a position to instruct, to comment on the behavior of this Vaishnava? Do I have the adhikar to interpret the activities of this Vaishnava, to give a feedback to this Vaishnava? This we have to ask ourselves very carefully. And then the last question, the second question, when did Chitraketu Maharaj? So why? Because of pride and that preaching mentality, unrestrained preaching mentality, that I have become Jagat Guru. That is why. And when did Chitraketu Maharaj commit Vaishnava Aparadha to Shivji in the presence of Parvati Devi? Very important question. When he was spiritually doing very well. Let us underline this point, my dear friends. When did Chitraketu Maharaj commit Vaishnava Aparadha? When he was spiritually doing very well. Hare Krishna. Chitraketu Maharaj never dreamt of offending Shivji when he was hankering for a son, when he was dying to beget a successor. Chitraketu Maharaj never dreamt of offending anyone when he was crying in separation from Harshashok, his beloved son, when he was heartbroken. He did not even dream of offending an ant, what to speak of Shivji, in that situation of lamentation, hankering lamentation. He did not commit Vaishnava Aparadha. When did he commit Vaishnava Aparadha? When he was spiritually successful, when he was spiritually healthy, when his sadhana was going great, when he was having great spiritual realizations. That is when Chitraketu Maharaj committed Vaishnava Aparadha. So we should never think that we have overcome the aparad buddhi, the offensive mentality. It would be very arrogant of us to think like that. Chitraketu Maharaj committed this grave Vaishnava aparad when he was spiritually doing very well. So we should not think that I am doing Brahma Murta Japa, I am chanting all my 16 rounds. During Brahma Murta, I am chanting extra rounds during Brahma Murta. I am saying my prayers, I am doing my arti. I am hearing regularly, I am reading Srila Prabhupada's books regularly. Now I can speak to anybody anyhow. If I see anybody who is not doing all of these things like I am doing, I have the adhikar to instruct them. No, this mentality is very dangerous. Because this mentality of thinking we are better than others is simply born out of pride. And the conjoint twin of pride is offensive mentality. So Chitraketu Maharaj committed this Vaishnava Aparadha. And he was chastised in front of so many sadhus, so many ascetics. The king of the world, who everyone knew has now self-realized, of Mahabhagavat, is thoroughly chastised by Parvati Devi. Not only that, and cursed. How would we feel? How will I feel? I walk into the ISKCON Atlanta temple and in front of the whole congregation, somebody chastises me for a fault that I have done. That's it. I have no justification. I have no explanation. Yes, I made this blunder. And boom, 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 boom. I'm chastised. How will it feel in front of everybody? And this chastisement is going to be recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam for all time to come. Hare Krishna. For a self-realized Mahabhagavat to go through this. This is the process of devotional service. as we are reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita today. Bhakti is not meant for the weak-hearted. Bhakti is not meant for the weak-hearted. Chitraketu Maharaj had the another beautiful thing is Chitraketu Maharaj had the power to counter curse Parvati Devi. Just like when that Manduka Rishi, he cursed Yamraj, that you are punishing me for some offense that I did as a child, giving some trouble to some insect, and you want me to be lanced by the soldiers of the king. This is disproportionate punishment. I curse you because you have made a wrong judgment. I curse you to be born in a uneducated, low-class family. For 100 years you will live on earth like that. So just like apparently if you see, Yamraj is at a much higher position than a Rishi, but this Rishi had the power to curse Yamraj. Similarly, Chitraketu Maharaj had the power to counter curse Parvati Devi. But of course, he did not. In fact, he happily accepted the chastisement as his purification. And he fell down as Vritrasur. Again, it's a long, beautiful pastime. We don't have time to get into that. But the essence is that, yes, all these facilities are given by Krishna, that all the sins are eradicated when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all the indebtedness is gone when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we become Krishna conscious, but that is Krishna's glory. That is glory of Guru Maharaj, that they have given us this wonderful process. But we, as ISKCON devotees, should never think that we are above the law. Just because we know we have taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We have a bona fide spiritual master. We have been successfully practicing the process of sadhana bhakti that is given to us. It doesn't mean that we break the rules. It doesn't mean that we drive beyond the speed limit, thinking that I'm above the law. It doesn't mean that we don't stop at the stop sign. I'm above the law. No, it doesn't mean that we are not respectful, that we don't feel a sense of indebtedness to those around us. It doesn't mean, although Krishna has absolved us of the debt, we should not feel that we don't owe anything to the parents, to the relatives, to the society, to the association of devotees, to the rishis. No. We are always Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. We are always respectful. Amanina manadena. So the essence is we understand that this is Krishna's greatness. He is giving us so much facility, giving us so much freedom. He's paying off all our loans. But we still feel a great sense of indebtedness to Krishna, to our acharyas, and to everyone. Even that construction worker who has constructed the highway on which we drive every day, our car, to get to work. Or the farmer who has plucked the oranges that we go and buy from the grocery store. We feel indebted. We are grateful to everyone. So that is the point I wanted to emphasize. And so that we don't become proud, because the conjoined twin of pride is aparad buddhi, offensive mentality. So Vritrasur, Chitraketu Maharaj became Vritrasur, a demon who was hated by the devatas, who was loved by the asuras, and yet he was always longing for the association of devotees. And therefore one of the very beautiful prayers that he speaks in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 6th canto, is Aham hareta vapadaye kamula dasanudaso bhavadasmi bhuyah manah smareta supater gunamste गृणीत वाक्कर्म करोतु कायः. He says that, so if you want to find the phrase dasanudas in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is this verse. It is this verse. So that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayora Das Das Anudas. But where is it in Srimad Bhagavatam? It is in this verse. That Vritrasur, although a demon, is saying that, my dear Lord, when will I again become the servant of your servants? Dasa nudaso bhavata bhavitasmi bhuyah. I want to become a servant of your servants. And he always had this longing to serve Krishna with his body, mind and words. Never forgot how he fell down from a self-realized Mahabhagavat to a self-realized Mahademon. He was still self-realized. He was still Mahabhagavat, even though externally he was covered over for purification. So even though Indradev was cutting his neck for 1 full year, it did not break the samadhi. It did not break the meditation of Vritrasur on the lotus feet of Krishna. That is how great he was. So these are some of the thoughts I wanted to share with all of you. That yes, all these, freedom from loans, loan repayment program is there in our GPS, Guru Parampara system, by the mercy of Guru Gauranga. But we as devotees should never think that we are great. We should always be very humble. No. We respect everybody. We respect the rishis, respect the devatas, respect the devotees, respect the non-devotees. Amanina manadena. Mahaprabhu doesn't say amanina bhakta manadena. Only respect the devotees. Don't respect the non-devotees. No. There are two dangers in this. One danger is that if we disrespect the non-devotees, Samaha sarveshu bhuteshu name dveshtasya na priya. Krishna says that he is equal to all. Everybody is Krishna's child. Just as we conclude, I will share just one personal experience, my dear friends. In my experience as ISKCON devotee, I am yet to see a devotee get away with Vaishnava Aparadha. I'll repeat this. I am yet to see a devotee get away with Vaishnava Aparadha. And whichever devotees I have noticed who are disrespectful to non-devotees, so-called non-devotees, devotees who are not in ISKCON, those who are like disrespectful to the people who are not in ISKCON, who are not wearing dhoti, tilak, kantimala, sari. Such devotees also, I have seen them Krishna covering their bhakti or taking their bhakti away. They either have intense difficulty in their bhajan kriya, in their sadhana bhakti, I have seen this, or sometimes I have seen them even completely fall away. I will give you one example. Many years ago, in 2003, I was going to Vrindavan for a medical camp, Barsana Eye camp, and there were some devotees in the train with me. We were traveling, and one devotee who was already initiated, he was very senior to me, who I looked up to, a very good friend of mine. Even today, he's a friend. I noticed something that really struck me as a new bhakta. I had just started chanting, 16 rounds, and I was relatively new. I was definitely, I was not initiated, very new. And I really looked up to this devotee, and I noticed something very striking. It's so striking that it's been so many years, but I have not been able to forget this. Because my interaction with this devotee was always very cordial, very respectful. Somehow he was very respectful towards me. Prabhu, you're a doctor, still you're chanting 16 rounds, you're so dedicated, still you come for the meetings. I adore you so much. And I was very respectful to him that, Prabhu, you are so intelligent, you're always serving devotees, you're initiated, you've been in this movement for so many years, you have so many nice realizations, you're so kind, so polite. I really adore you. So we had a mutually respectful relationship. And in all my dealings with this devotee, for the 1.5 year I had known him, he was a very gentle devotee, very respectful. And in the train, I noticed he was so unusually rude to the fellow passengers who were not devotees. Like if someone would eat something next to him, he would just chastise them. Yeah, idhar mat khao, pyaj lasan ki baas aa rahi hai, kahin aur jaake khao. Aisa. Or if somebody keeps luggage on his seat, idhar kyun rakha hai? Nikalo idhar se. Main baitha hu idhar, this is my seat. Why are you keeping it here? Why are you spilling this food here? And if someone while walking just by mistake brushes against his knee, hey, dekh ke chalo na, watch your step. Why can't you walk carefully? Don't you know you have hit me? Like that. So very, very snappy, very rude, very curt with the non-devotees. And when next moment when he would speak to me or the devotees, he would be very polite. When we arrived at Mathura station, the rickshaw wala, he was so rude to the rickshaw wala. Hey, itna bahut zyada bol raha, you started fighting with him over the fare, very, very rude way. I felt like that. All glories to him, my humble obeisances to him. But I really noticed this. I had never seen a devotee being so short-tempered, or picking up so many fights in a short journey of 24 hours from Bombay to Mathura. So many people he fought with or argued with, non-devotees. So I found it very striking. And for some time I thought maybe this is okay. As long as you don't do Vaishnava Aparadh. Vaishnava Aparadh is all right. I thought Vaishnava Aparadh is bad. Vaishnava Aparadh is all right. Those are not devotees. You can do, you can get away. I thought like that. But still, that kind of behavior did not go down well in my heart. And I didn't say anything to anybody. He's my friend. And now I don't know if this is related or not. But after that, it's been how many years now? More than 15 years, 16 years, 17 years. I have seen this devotee go through tremendous spiritual difficulty, tremendous spiritual struggle. I'm not talking about material difficulties we all have. There is no escape. But our spiritual development getting stunted, our spiritual development getting adversely affected, that is very sad. That is very sad. When Bharat Maharaj became a deer or became Jada Bharat, the Krishna consciousness was protected. There was some reaction, but the Krishna consciousness was protected. That is Krishna's promise. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Similarly, when Chitraketu Maharaj became Vritrasur, he lost his physical beauty, he lost his Kanthimala Tilak, he lost the association of devotees, but his Krishna consciousness, his realizations, his internal purity was never lost. Krishna protected his consciousness. That is Avashya Rakshide Krishna. But to see someone getting deviated into politics, Indian politics, getting someone developing taste for mundane gossip, as opposed to developing a taste for Harikatha, going deeper in Krishna consciousness. After finishing Bhagavad Gita, picking up Bhagavatam, then picking up Chaitanya Charitamrita. This laulyam, this greed, this lalasa, intense desire to go deeper in Krishna consciousness is a sign of spiritual health. But when we start getting rasa in hearing from some pseudo-spiritual political leaders, and we start considering them to be on the same level as Srila Prabhupada, and then propagating their lectures. Oh, listen to this person. They talk about Sanatan Dharma, they talk about Hinduism, they talk about building Ram Mandir, they talk about which political party should we vote for. Oh, my respects, my respects to all that. But that is not what Srila Prabhupada came to give us. That is not what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us. That can occupy 0.5% of our brain, heart, and time. But our focus should be on Bhakti Rasa. We want to become Rasika Bhaktas. We don't want to become political, socio-political Bhaktas. So this spiritual difficulty, distraction, getting deviated into politics and sports and, still, claiming to be chanting 16 rounds, still, coming for satsang. But, you can make out. You can make out, with all due respect, you can make out that fire is not burning, that fire of bhakti, that those realizations are not coming. So that is very painful. Very painful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My sincere prayers for this devotee. And the reason I'm mentioning this is, this applies to me and this applies to all of us. We have to be very careful, my dear friends, how we treat others. Krishna will not like it if we treat a rickshawala or a fellow passenger. Rickshawala to theek hai, dhamvasi tha. He's Mathuravasi. Rickshawala is a Mathuravasi. You have to be extra careful. Just because he is pulling a rickshaw doesn't make him any less than any other dhamvasi. So, but that apart, even though one is, in a train, one is a Christian, Muslim, or a non-believing Hindu, or whoever, one atheist, agnostic, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What does Krishna expect from us? Vidya Vinaya Sampanna Brahmane Gavihastini Sunicheva Supakacheva Pandita Samadarshina Mat Karmakrin Mat Paramo Mad Bhakta Sang Varjita Nirvairaha Sarva Bhuteshu Yaha Samameti Pandava. This verse is a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport. The last verse of the 11th chapter, the universal form of the Lord. The entire formula of Bhagavad Gita is there. Entire formula of Krishna consciousness is there in this one verse. So among the different instructions that Krishna gives, one is Nirvairaha Sarva Bhuteshu. You should be well-wishing, non-envious to all living entities. You should not ill-treat anyone. You should not be a vairi to anybody. You should not be inimical towards anyone. So this is a very valuable lesson that I personally hope to have learned and hope and pray to imbibe. But I just thought it is useful to share with all of you. That yes, when we read about the process of devotional service is glorified, and we should not think that we are immune to Vaishnava Prad, or we should not think that we are above and beyond the rules and regulations at any time. And this is what we learn from the story of Chitraketu Maharaj. So this is some thoughts I wanted to share. I'm very grateful to all of you for your patient listening. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
If there are any comments, corrections, or questions, we can spend few minutes on that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. This is Kamudiki Dasi. Please accept my humble obeisances. I'm just wondering, or maybe it's a question, that how about the Chitraketu Maharaj's queens? did they get any benefit at all by, because he's a pure devotee, when he practiced pure devotional service and became pure and had darshan of Lord Shankarsan. So, I don't know, could you, is there anything, can you explain, please?
Kamadiki Mataji, what did you say? I didn't understand the question. Did Chitraketu Maharaj have what?
Chitraketu Maharaj, he performed after this, instruction of the Naradani and Angira Rishi was given by that Jiva, that Hoshashoka. So then he became devotee, and a pure devotee. He had a darshan of Lord Shankarsan, and then he was preaching, and everything. It was very nice. But I'm wondering whether his queens, so many queens he had, they were all Vaishnavis. Did they get any benefit of him, like Chitraketu Maharaj?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. Yes. So in that contemporary society, in the Vedic society of ancient ages, traditionally the Matajis, the wives, they would not get diksha. They would not get a spiritual master. They would get their shiksha, instructions from the husband. So husband would take diksha, and then he would instruct the wives or wife, and then under the guidance of the husband, then the wife would also make spiritual advancement. So yes, after Chitraketu Maharaj was instructed by Narada Muni and Angira Muni, his wives, all the wives, they also received enlightenment at the same time, because Harshashok got up and he spoke to all of them, and he explained the philosophy of Bhagavad Dharma to all of them. So all of them were enlightened. All their envy was gone, and they all became pure devotees. And in the Vedic culture also, the wives or the wife, they attain the same spiritual merit as the husband. So Chitraketu Maharaj became a Mahabhagavat, became a pure devotee, Shuddha Bhakta. So his wives also attained the same destination as him. Chitraketu Maharaj became a eternal associate of the Lord. So his wives also got the same attained the same spiritual merit. Does that help, Mataji?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, most certainly, because...
Yeah, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Dasosmi.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam, Glory to Srila Prabhupada. So, thank you for such a beautiful class. As you have mentioned already in the class, but still, I'd love to put this cherry on the cake by saying that, by being grateful to you for such a beautiful class you gave. And I'm pretty sure you'll pass on this cherry to your spiritual master. So I just have one question, that the verse that we read today in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says that, and you also mentioned, but so if we are doing any Shraddha ceremony for our forefathers, so after coming to Krishna consciousness, so it is right? We should do it, because still we are not 100% surrendered to Mukunda, or even if we are, but still we should be grateful to the demigods, and so we should perform this Shraddha ceremony to our forefathers. So is this the correct understanding, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. Is this Kirtida Sundari Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. This is your servant, Kirtida Sundari.
Sorry, what did you say, Mataji? Yes or no?
Yes, I said this is your servant, Kirtida Sundari.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for your kind words. I am very happy that I was able to this time recognize your nice voice. So yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. Yes. So you are absolutely right, Mataji. From the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who went to Gaya all the way to to perform the Shraddha ceremony for Sri Jagannath Mishra, his beloved father, from the story of Govinda Ghosh, for whom Shraddha ceremony is even to this day performed by his Ishtadev, Gopinathji, his deity of Gopinath. So there are so many examples in our scriptures. Advaita Acharya performed Shraddha for his ancestors, and he gave the Shraddha Patra to Haridas Thakur. So based on Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, it is absolutely clear that we should all perform Shraddha ceremony. And the heart of performing Shraddha ceremony for us Gaudiya Vaishnavas is that we should cook wonderful bhoga for Krishna. We should feed Krishna, and then we should take the Mahaprasad and then mentally offer it to our pitras, to our ancestors, our parents or grandparents or whoever we are offering it for. And then we can also partake of the Krishna Prasad. So that way, and of course we should invite devotees, and we should have Harinam Sankirtan. We can read Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Hari Katha. So this is how devotees observe Shraddha ceremony. If someone wants to do it with a yajna and call a purohit, a pandit, a brahman and do it, that is also good. The heart is to offer the forefathers Krishna Prasad, to serve the Vaishnavas by inviting them home and serving them, just like Advaita Acharya used to invite devotees like Haridas Thakur and serve them, feed them on the Shraddha day, and have Harinam Sankirtan and Hari Katha. So we should certainly observe Shraddha ceremony. I can share one example, Mataji. My wife, one of her cousin, father, means my wife's cousin uncle, he passed away, and they have a daughter, and she does not believe in God. So after the father died, she did not do anything. No Shraddha, nothing, no puja, nothing. They just, cremated the body, and that was it. And after some time, after a few months, he came in my wife's Radha Bhav's dream, and she actually saw him suffering in hell. And he was crying and he was begging and telling my wife that, Beta, please tell my daughter, tell your cousin sister to do Shraddha, I'm suffering. Tell her to do some puja, I'm suffering. And then the dream broke. So she woke up, she told me, and so then we called up this sister of ours, and we told her about the dream, and then we told her how to do it, and her husband did it. And after that, my wife has not had any dream, and we pray that he got Sadgati, he got a better destination. So this is the heart of Shraddha ceremony, to offer Kirtan, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Katha and Krishna Prasad to the ancestors. And this is a bona fide process. It is there in the scriptures, and the ancestors do get benefited. So I hope that helps Mataji.
Yes, sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much for stating that. Also, to this, even the daughters are eligible to do it, or it's only the son that has to do it?
Hare Krishna. So,
I'm sorry, Prabhu. If my question is wrong, you can just skip it.
No.
Can I also?
Yes.
You first answer, Prabhu, and then.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, there are some things which I can share publicly, some things I can share with you in private, if you want. But
Sure.
I had asked this question to Jananivas Prabhu when he had come to our house in Atlanta in 2015. And Jananivas Prabhu was very clear. He said, Jivera Swarup hai Krishna Nityadas. This male body, female body. After reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, we understand the heart of Krishna. Krishna, yes, there are all these rules and regulations, but ultimately for Krishna, we are his children. We are his children. We are, Krishna is our father. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Pran. Pitaham Asya Jagata Mata Dhata Pitamaha. In Bhagavad Gita also he says. So we all have a relationship with Krishna. Kirtida Sundari Mataji has as much a relationship with Krishna as any Prabhuji. Or, all of us, whether we are in a male body or female body, we all have eternal relationship with Krishna. We all have eternal right. In fact, Jananadas Prabhu used the word birthright. We have a birthright. The unborn soul has the birthright to worship Krishna equally, whether we are man or woman. But for social etiquette, we do it differently. For example, Matajis will offer a Panchanga Dandavat. The Prabhujis will offer Ashtanga Dandavat. That is just because the way our bodies are made in a public place for the sake of etiquette. We do it like that. So there are some distinctions, but the principle is same. A Mataji will make equal advancement by offering Panchanga Dandavat as much as a male-bodied devotee will make by offering Ashtanga Dandavat. Nobody is deprived in the spiritual world. So let's imagine that there is one Mataji who has no father, no brother, no husband, and she wants to do Shraddha ceremony for her parents or whatever, somebody. That Mataji can invite devotees home. She can cook for Krishna, feed Krishna, nice bhoga, offer that prasadam, or she can ask one of the male devotees to offer prasadam to her ancestors, or she can ask a cousin brother, or somebody, her sister's husband, or some chacha, uncle, to offer it, and have nice Hari Katha, Hari Kirtan. So the traditional the tradition is that men do it. Men do Shraddha ceremony. Women are generally protected from these things because women by nature are very soft-hearted, and the things like giving Agni to a dead body, or going to the crematorium, or doing Shraddha for the departed ancestors, because Matajis by nature are very soft-hearted. All these painful ceremony where we remember our loved ones who have departed, or going to crematorium, seeing their dead body. Generally, in the Vedic culture, Matajis are kept protected from these types of ceremonies, and the men do it because men are a little hard-hearted comparatively. So the traditional understanding is that if possible, the husband can do. So let's say somebody has passed away and they have only one daughter, so the daughter's husband can do because the son-in-law is also son, or a cousin brother can do, or a grandson can do, or somebody like, or a male devotee can do, a male Vaishnava. Male Vaishnava can come and do it as a friend, or as a well-wisher. So, but if you ask me, even if a Mataji cooks bhoga, offers Krishna, and then offers that prasad to the ancestors, praying to Krishna sincerely, then and invites Vaishnavas and does nice Hari Kirtan, Hari Katha, it's as good as any other Shraddha ceremony. It's completely perfect. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a sannyasi, and he allowed that Oriya tribal woman to climb on his shoulders. There are so many. Janava Mataji became a spiritual master, Nityananda Prabhu's eternal consort. We were chanting today, Jaya Padmavati Sutta, Janava Jivana, glorifying our Nityananda Prabhu. So there is no difference, Mataji. In our Bhagavad Dharma, there is no difference between men and women. Still, out of social custom, social etiquette, we follow certain traditional rules. Once Radhanath Maharaj was asked, if there is a death in the family, my family tradition says that I should not visit a temple for 21 days. So what should I do? So Radhanath Maharaj said, it's okay, come after 21 days. Chant Hare Krishna at home for 21 days. There is no restriction for chanting Hare Krishna, but we don't want to break unnecessary family traditions. So it's okay, come after 21 days, no problem. Like that. So we don't want to create any controversy. But at the same time, in our heart, we understand. Jivera Swarup Hai Krishna Nitya Das. That is the bottom line. Does that make sense, Mataji? And Prithvilasini Mataji, please feel free to correct me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Gadadhar Prabhu. Thank you so much for your time and such a wonderfully explained. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Such a beautiful, encompassing answer you gave. It was really, really perfect. Very, very nice answer, Prabhu. I just wanted to add a little bit for those who have certain, if they have some reservations in the mind. Shastrically, it is allowed that, this is the order in which they put it because of the social etiquette of the offering the shraddha or the during the death ceremony. What happens is many people, especially as in these generations, mostly they just have girls. They don't even have any, the person who passed away sometimes doesn't even have a brother, and the brother doesn't have children. So there are so many problems. They just have one girl child, and they themselves don't have siblings who can actually offer the shraddha. So generally in scripture, it says that, either the son or the brother or the brother's son, like that, they stick to the same gotra or the seminal lineage, generally, traditionally. But then what happens that if, it's just a girl, this is a problem that many people have in mind. So the scriptures also give another solution, that in the beginning, the daughter or the wife, if the wife is still alive or if the daughter is there, she can just pass on the dharba grass to a suitable male who will perform the ceremony for her father. Like it can be her husband, or it can be her cousin, like how you mentioned. It can also be any suitable Vaishnava or a Brahmana who's ready to perform the final sacrifice, the final offerings for that departed soul. So it's a very small thing that I just wanted to add. Your answer just covered everything, but for those who still have a doubt in the mind, there is just a small reservation. If they still have, it's still allowed. Scripturally, it is sanctioned that you just pass on the darba with your own hands to the male person, and the male person will continue to do the rest. So still it is considered that you, being the putri, has actually done the ceremony. I hope that was useful. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful, Prithvilasini Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Beautiful class, Prabhu. Also, I have one question about Vritasura. Prabhu, when my daughter and me were reading that Vritasura and Indra's pastimes comes, no, Prabhu, and then Indra, sometimes he is very, very, Indra's character, sometimes it comes like how he, first of all, he offend his guru, and after that he killed his guru, and after that he wanted to kill Vritasura, like that, and then my daughter was telling, oh, he was so offending, means in that when he gave he gave the 5 course also, yes, means because of his 5 omen, water, they took that his course also, like that, and she was very offending mentality, and I was telling he is also devotee, but he's not pure devotee. Means how can we tell in that situation, Prabhu, for the kids? Means we should not offend to the devotees also at the same time.
Hare Krishna, Anjana Gopika Mataji. Humble obeisances to you and your illustrious daughter, Dandavats. Yes, Mataji. So when we just read Srimad Bhagavatam, it sounds very offensive that how Vishwarup was killed and Then Dadiji had to give up his bones, his life, to give his bones to make the thunderbolt, which was used to kill Dhritarashtra. Such a long, so many complications. However, our acharyas, Srila Prabhupada and all our acharyas, they explain that here Indra is representing a karma mishra bhakta. He is not a shuddha bhakta, he is not a pure devotee. He is a devotee who is inclined towards fruitive activities. So he is definitely not the example. Krishna is not using him as an example that we should follow. Yes, definitely. Indra is showing how one thing can lead to another, and there can be so many complications. And one sin gives rise to so many problems, so much purification. So he's a karma mishra bhakta, and definitely we don't want to do. We don't want to follow what Indra did to Ahalya, what he did to Dhritarashtra, to kill Dhritarashtra, what all he did and how he became envious. We definitely don't want to follow that path. But here Indra is representing not a pure devotee, but a karma mishra bhakta. So we respect him, and our acharyas actually explain that he was also Krishna's puppet. Like, this is Krishna's Lila Shakti that sometimes makes these different personalities in Srimad Bhagavatam behave like this. So Indra may or may not be Indra is a title. It's like president. So when you say President of United States, are you referring to Obama? Are you referring to President Trump or Jimmy Carter or Bill Clinton, or So when you say Indra, the exact this we don't know which Indra is. Sometimes Krishna himself also becomes Indra if the post is vacant, just like sometimes he becomes Brahma. Sometimes great devotees like Bali Maharaj will become Indra. So but here in this particular pastime, definitely we can understand that Indra is not playing the role of a pure devotee. So we don't want to necessarily follow these footsteps. We want to follow in the footsteps of Narad Muni or follow the footsteps of the consciousness of Chitraketu Maharaj. That even if such a major misunderstanding happens, like Mother Parvati totally misunderstood Chitraketu, but still his consciousness was very faithful to Shivji, faithful to Parvati, and of course faithful to Krishna. So we want to follow in the footsteps of Chitraketu Maharaj, Narad Muni, like that. Does that help, Mataji? Indra is not a pure devotee here.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. It's a lot of instruction in the class. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Because see, once Gaurang Prabhu was saying that if Krishna wants trees to have that sticky liquid coming out, he wants water to have bubbles. There has to be some nimitta matra, there has to be some reason, some lila. So like that, Krishna uses his devotees to teach the world valuable lessons. So that is the understanding, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Actually, Anjana Gopika Mataji, very interesting. Sometimes even within our devotee circles, in our ISKCON, if some devotee who is doing the service of a management position, if for collecting funds or managing a temple or managing some festival, in that Kshatriya role of being a manager, organizer, giving orders, managing, telling devotees what to do. If some devotee who is in a managerial seva role does something that is a Vaishnava, that is not in line with the Vaishnava etiquettes, what do we say? Just see, that devotee has developed Indra Bhav. He has developed Indra Bhav. That is what it is called. So Indraji, King Indra, Indradev, he's so broad-minded that he is participating in Krishna Lila and facilitating Krishna Lila at the cost of becoming an example for pride and controlling mentality. So whenever somebody demonstrates pride or controlling mentality, look at that devotee, he has developed Indra Bhav. Almost like a bad word, Indra Bhav. Like we say Ravan Raj. Oh, there is a Ravan Raj, you want Ram Raj. Somebody becomes arrogant and pride, he's developed Indra Bhav. So Indra Dev is willing to be misunderstood, to be used as a negative example to facilitate Krishna's Leela. So for that we are very grateful to Indradev. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhu, for beautiful answer.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Are you still there? Adi Gadadhar Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes, Kaumudiki Mataji, I am at your service. Hare Krishna.
But you have explained about the Indra Bhav, referring like that. So would it be considered judging the devotee?
Yes, Mataji, I would be scared to use that term, for anyone, that this person has developed Indra Bhav. I personally don't like to use that, because who are we, to judge somebody like this. This is more like, if somebody wants to give me if a superior wants to give me a feedback, the superior will say that, Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, why did you talk like this to that devotee? You are so rude and blunt, Have you developed Indra Bhav? Like that. So somebody who is in a position of authority can chastise me. But yes, I agree with you. We should not judge like this others, that you have developed pride and arrogance. Yeah, it's not for us, Mataji, to call others like that. Not good to Indradev and not good to the devotee. Certainly not good for ourselves, for our own spiritual health. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice class, very nice answers, and very nice association, and also discussion. Thank you very much. Priti Vilasini Mataji also gave nice. It's very enlightening, and if somebody asks a question like that, then we can present it. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes, wonderful. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else has any comments for Prabhuji? Thank you all so much again. Such a beautiful session. Thank you, Prabhuji, for all the nectar that you poured in today. Thank you to all the devotees who participated. We can end the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि कृष्ण वृंद की जय, शरण प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री श्री चैतन्य चरितामृता की जय, महाप्रभु की जय, हिज ग्रेस आदि गदाधर प्रभु की जय,
श्रील प्रभुपाद, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद, ऑल ग्लोरी टू ऑल। हरे